guys, today we're going to be doing simple meal, simple eat, simple mind, simple me. So I'm going to be doing a tofu stir fry, or a tofu stir fry. So I'm going to show you how you're going to make tofu simple and easy. You don't have to go buying 1,001 ingredients, and if you've been cooking with me, you're going to have these recipes anyway. So let's get down to it. Tofu, that is going to be our main source. Our meat is going to be the powwow in this meal. So if you don't know how to pick out tofu, you need to get out extra firm. It's always where the vegan stuff is at, and you need to drain it. Get 2 paper towels, sit something heavy on it like a skillet, an iron skillet or something. That's what I did. And you want to press it, and when you press it, it's going to let out all of the water that comes in tofu. So that's pretty much what I did. I did it probably, you want to do it like 3 or 4 hours. Just let it sit easy. Now we're going to cut this up in cubes, and then I'm going to show you how you're going to get your tofu really crispy, because the main ingredient to make it crispy, you're going to need some cornstarch. Cornstarch dries out anything, or it makes it thick. So if you're trying to dry out or get some crispy chicken, you want to use cornstarch. It's a good additive to flour to make things like dry and crispy. If you didn't know, use cornstarch next time you fry anything or pan sear anything. So this is what makes it so simple and easy. I picked up this at the store in the international aisle, and you can get this. It's stir fried vegetables. So we're trying to cut out a lot of red meats and incorporate vegetables. Boom, you can get this at the store. This was $2.39 where I live at. And then if you don't know, this, yeah, it has zero, everything is zero. Sodium a little over exaggerated in here, 210. Anything that has everything zero, sodium got to be in there somewhere to preserve it. So try these out if you never had bean sprouts. They're good, they're delicious. Whatever flavor you add to it, it makes it yummy. So we're going to open up this and that to make it. But besides that, to make our tofu have more flavor, because tofu doesn't have any flavor. What you put in it is what you get out of it. So we're going to do a little sesame seed oil to give it that flair of flavor. Then we're going to make 2 different ones. General So, just like you would buy the chicken when you go to your Chinese restaurant, sorry. And then we're going to do sweet chili as well. And I like to cook with a little teriyaki mixed with soy sauce. That is our sauce component. And then when I season our cornstarch, I'm going to actually add a little bit of salt and pepper in here. Y'all know I love to use this. This has everything in one. If you're starting out in your pantry trying to build up your seasonings, make sure this is #1 in here. And then for color, I'm going to add a little ground paprika, or if you have smoke, oh, that would even be better, and a little garlic powder. Okay, garlic powder is better than garlic salt because we are using salt, and this has salt in it. So anything extra you want to use, make sure it's powder, because powder does not contain salt. So let's get down to making this, and it's going to be simple and easy. What we're going to do, after you drain this for 3 or 4 hours, you want to cut it in cubes. You can cut it as big as you want, or you can make it as small. I'm going to make it in smaller cubes, about this thick, because I'm using this for 2 different flavor profiles. So I want to make sure I have enough for both. Okay, so we're just going to do a crisscross pattern. Once you do a slice, you want to go ahead and just dice. Okay, and they still going to be pretty big, because one, I gotta half this again. So you might just want to go ahead and just half it again, or you can cut it like I did and just let it fall, let the chips fall where they lay, and then cut it again. So boom. So that's how I'm gonna do mine. So I'm gonna get to cutting this, y'all. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get a bowl, or you can get a Ziploc bag. It's really up to you. And all I'm going to do is give about a 1/4 cup of cornstarch in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put about 2 tablespoons of flour. You can use whatever flour you want in here. It's really up to you. And I'm using this much cornstarch because I have a lot I have to batter. I'm going to sprinkle in about a tablespoon of the seasoning because I want to season this as I'm cooking it, because I want my tofu to taste like something. Once again, I tell you, tofu does not have a flavor, so you want to go ahead and add some flavor. Garlic powder, about a half of garlic powder, a half of paprika, a pinch of salt, and a half of pepper. Let me go ahead and get my flour, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to use a tablespoon and a half of flour. I'm going to take a fork or a whisk and just whisk it up. Just like you would do if you was frying like chicken or anything. But I use more cornstarch than anything because the cornstarch is going to really just dry this out for us. Now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to just take the cube of tofu and put them in here like so. Put my lid on it and do like a shake and bake situation. Make sure everything is covered, because I'm telling you, this is where the magic is going to happen. Now, while this is going on, you want to get some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, grapeseed oil, whatever, and you want to put about, I want to say 3 to 4 tablespoons, and then you want to add just a splash of this sesame seed oil. Sesame seed oil is very strong when it comes to flavor, and you don't want to overpower it. So I'm going to take it over to the stove top, and I'm going to show you how we're going to get to cooking these, and then from there I'm going to finish them up, and we're going to get to making our meal. Here on the stove top, and I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil. Like I told you, use about 2 or 3 tablespoons in here, and then you want to do a splash of your sesame seed oil. And the reason why you don't want to use a lot of oil, because again, it's going to soak up whatever you put in here, and we're not trying to fry them, we're just trying to saute them. And then on top of that, we just want to give this a little flavor. A little goes a long way. And this lasts for a long time because you don't really need a lot of it. So yeah. Make sure your pan is hot before you get to laying in your tofu, because if it's not, it's going to soak into your tofu, and that's not what you want. So once everything is in here, I'm going to try to cut the light down so I can give y'all a better view. And this doesn't even take that long to cook. So, there we go. Look, there we go. I hate that this, yeah. So, here we go. We have everything covered, and we have it how we want it to be. Okay, so we got everything covered. We have everything how we want it to be. And all you're going to do is just make sure you take like a spoon or something so you can drain out the excess flour, because we're not trying to cook the flour in here. So just make sure you shake it and bake it off, and just lay it in here like so. Do not overcrowd them, because if you overcrowd them, then they're not going to cook evenly in gold. Okay. And give each side about a good 6 to 7 minutes. cooking the tofu. Now, let me let you know. Add a little season on top, and voila. These are crispy. I'm telling you, I'm about to take a bite out of it. Listen. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. I'm not lying. Cook it with more cornstarch and a little bit of flour. Bang, with some seasoning. Crunchy. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make our stir fry stuff that we got at the can. Now I'm gonna add some broccoli to this. You can add extra vegetables, it's up to you. You can even add noodles, or you can go ahead and get you some rice. Now I'm trying to cut on the carbs, so we're not gonna do rice. But bean sprouts is kind of like a noodle texture, but they taste really good. So what we're gonna do is just add the bean sprouts to our pan with the stir fry vegetables that we actually got out the can as well. Okay. Now I drained the can. I left a little juice from the stir fry can in here, so it's not a big deal. Also, I'm going to go ahead and add in my broccoli that I steamed and some chicken broth. So I'm going to add a little bit of that chicken broth sauce in here as well with the broccoli. Okay. And this is just chicken broth. So I'm going to add a little bit of that in there so this can steam down. And I'm going to cut this on medium high. On mine, it will be a 5. It will be a 4.5 to a 5. Okay. And then I'm just going to stir this up. Now this is where the flavor comes in at. We're going to let some of this juice boil down out of here. And this is going to be so simple and easy. It doesn't take that long to cook this. And you're going to be in and out of here before you know it. So I like to use teriyaki. I like to use this one specifically in any type of sauces. Mix it with a little soy sauce. OMG, it's the bomb. So I'm going to give this about a 1/4 cup. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of soy sauce. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. So I'm adding the soy sauce, a couple sprigs of that. Now, if you want to, I'm going to add a little bit of sweet chili to this just to balance the saltiness, but also make it savory. So I will add about a 1/4 cup to this as well. Now I know y'all like a 1/4 cup. Yes, a 1/4 cup. It is going to saute down. It's going to give us a nice texture. It's not going to be overbearing, and it's going to be delicious. Okay. And then I add the chicken broth, which doesn't have any sodium in there. That was homemade chicken broth that we made. And y'all, if y'all want to know how to make homemade chicken broth, it's a time consuming, but it's worth it. And I learned how to do that during the quarantine stages of our in-home lifestyle, okay? So yeah, I'm going to mix this up really, really well. Let this simmer down. And then once you get done simmering down, what you do not want to do is a bad thing to do is add this in here. Because again, even though we fried this is tofu and it's crunchy, you do not want to add that on top of there because the juices and the flavor is going to soak in here and make them soggy, and that's not what we want. So I'm going to let this steam down, let all the flavors combine, get in here. Then I'm going to taste it, and then after maybe about 5 minutes, I'm going to add a little bit of my total seasoning and garlic powder. We're going to keep with the same profile. Don't overdo it. And then I'm going to make my nice little bowl up and show y'all how we're going to do it. Now, last but not least, I am going to take this tofu and I'm going to put the sauce on there. But that's going to be last because I don't want it soggy. So when I come back, y'all will see my pretty little bowl. And this is all healthy conscious. If you want, you can add carbs in here like noodles and rice, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with what I know to keep it simple and low. So I'll see y'all when my plate is complete and we'll be ready to eat. Alright guys, so now we're about to make our plate. So this is the pan-seared tofu, and y'all, it's crispy. I've been eating on them. 3 ounces get you 70 calories, so whoop whoop. So all you're gonna do is just put them in a bowl. You're gonna get some of the sauce, whatever sauce you want, about a table, 2. Ooh, this is so melon sweet. Ooh, about a couple drizzles. I'll do a table or 2 in here. General toss, so I don't know. And then you just want to mix it up like this. So this is the best way to coat them, to make sure that they don't get too soggy and you still have your sauce on here and they're still crunchy. Because if you go and you do the wrong thing and just splatter everything in there, not going to work. And then this is our stir fry. Look at that. Now them are not noodles, them are bean sprouts. Okay, bean sprouts are 0 calories. Sodium is 210, a little much for the sodium. But listen, I added some more vegetables to this, like some broccoli. I let it steam in a little bit of our sauce that we made, and it has a lot of flavor. The can was a half a cup, was 25 calories. So listen, we got about a cup and a half right there. We're still banking for our buck. And then all I do is put my vegetables in the bowl right here. I'm trying to bring y'all closer so y'all can really get the gist of it. So I put my vegetables in the bowl right here. I toss my tofu. Looks like chicken, don't it? Looks like something really, really healthy. Boom. Put it on the side. I'm gonna taste one of these bad boys. Still crunchy. And that is dinner. Look at that. You cannot beat that. Healthy, simple. Didn't take long. So I will catch y'all next time when y'all are ready to cook with your girl and eat something healthy and simple. Till next time, guys.